So I thought I would start with the first Duffy poem, Standing Female Nude, by doing some annotating for you so you can kind of see my thought process and kind of see what you should be doing as you're moving through these poems. Now, some of these may just be questions that I answer, and some, maybe not. These are just things for you to be thinking about. Again, I want to reiterate that this is my interpretation. These are things that I would point out that, I think are important. That doesn't mean that it's the only interpretation. It doesn't mean it's the one right answer. This is just one way to look at the poem, not the only way. So first, you have the entire poem, Standing Female Nude by Carol Ann Duffy. 6 hours like this for a few francs. Belly, nipple, arse in the window light. He drains the color from me. Further to the right, madame. And do try to be still. I shall be represented analytically and hung in great museums. The bourgeoisie will coo at such an image of a river whore. They call it art. Maybe. He is concerned with volume, space. I with the next meal. You're getting thin, madame. This is not good. My breast hangs slightly low. The studio is cold. In the tea leaves, I can see the Queen of England gazing on my shape. Magnificent, she murmurs, moving on. It makes me laugh. His name is Georges. They tell me he is a genius. There are times he does not concentrate and stiffens for my warmth. He possesses me on canvas as he dips the brush repeatedly into the paint. Little man, you've not the money for the arts I sell. Both poor, we make our own living how we can. I ask him, why do you do this? Because I have to. There's no choice. Don't talk. My smile confuses him. These artists take themselves too seriously. At night, I fill myself with wine and dance around the bars. When it's finished, he shows me proudly, lights a cigarette. I say, 12 francs and get my shawl. It does not look like me. So first, just look at some of the basics of the poem, like the title, the stanzas, the line breaks. So looking at her diction, there's some notes that you can look over. Title, Female and Nude. Says that it is both non-emotional, but also, really provocative, really get your attention. There are 3 stanzas. And really interestingly, she breaks up one sentence in 2 of the stanzas. So it makes you wonder why she does that. Poem has varying line lengths, no pattern, no pattern of punctuation, no rhythm, no rhyme. So it is most definitely free verse. The only word that you might need to know is bourgeoisie. There's the definition for you there. Middle class, typically with references, focuses on material possessions. So first, let's look at the first stanza. So some things that I pointed out, some things, that I thought were interesting. So Duffy herself is British, but she uses some French words. So, you ask yourself why she would do that. Some more provocative imagery. That's the ascendaton there with no punctuation in between these words. Kind of makes it all just kind of flow together. Some vampiristic imagery there in describing the artist. No punctuation in his dialogue. You have to ask, why he would do that. Why Duffy would do that in her poem. There's no punctuation for any dialogue, whether it's the artist or later the queen or the woman herself. Okay, so more interesting diction there, talking about her being represented. Why Duffy chooses those words instead of any other artistic terms is something to think about. You have a really nice juxtaposition here, looking at great museums and the bourgeoisie as opposed to this river whore. So, kind of looking at the vast gulf in the class distinctions in the society. And then finally, the fact that his art is capitalized, and we're going to see later her arts, her job being a prostitute, that's not capitalized. So, again, a nice juxtaposition between the two.